I'm going to take you through my 6-day fast and the 2-day aftermath. I'm going to share the physical, how it transformed to the mental, and how I even came to spiritual epiphanies. And I'm going to share with you everything else that happened in between. Let's do it. Good day, everyone. In this video, I'm going to document my 6-day fast. This is day one. I've completed day one. Yesterday, I went the whole day. It's been like 36 hours, and I have my my shirt off, and I think it's significant for me because I like to see like how these transformations look and have documented proof of how they looked, and it's just quite interesting to me. So this is where we're at right now, and I don't really have much weight on me anyway because I am here in Africa. I've been here for a bit over a month, and my body is really adapting to everything. I'm not starving myself or anything, but the environment just kind of has just kind of done me like this, and maybe that's just the way it's supposed to be for where I am. So what I'm gonna do in this documentation, day by day, I'm going to give you insights about my progress and what I've done to keep the fast afloat and stay mentally stable, and just basically overall make this thing work out in the best way possible. Now, my main reason for doing this fast is for, of course, it's always health is always a good reason, but to optimize things. Not only optimize my body, my health, my mind, but optimize my life. And if you don't know, I am on a serious journey. I made a huge investment in myself, and I'm basically taking a chance on myself. What's life if you're not willing to make a huge investment in yourself? Not things, but actually make an investment in yourself. So here I am, and this is where I'm at on that. Now, this is to document day one. Since day one's completed, I'm just going to basically tell you what I did yesterday. Yesterday, I moved from a different location. I'm actually in a busier location where I'm at now. I'm in the main city, or the main central area of this city that I'm in in East Africa, and I don't feel comfortable revealing the exact location at the moment. Maybe later, and there's reasons for that. So we're at like the few other places. Ironically, the other places that I've lived over this past month or so have been much more simpler than here. They're on the outskirts of here. They're in the suburbs. Even it gets slightly rural, or rural looking, because it's not exactly rural. And those places have been the most interesting. Those are places where I got the most social and met people and just really hit things off. But I came back here. Ironically, the busier place with the most people, the most noise, is the most quiet, has been the most quiet place for me, where I kind of don't have to really, like I'm around, I see people, but no one sees me. I'm invisible. It's funny how I'm more invisible in the places where I shouldn't be invisible. So it's interesting, and that's why I'm back in this area to do the fast, and I'll probably change my location. Well, I'm gonna do the fast here, but funny story, quite an interesting story. Initially, I was gonna do the fast in a farm stay, which is basically a hotel on a farm, and the reason why I chose the area because it was isolated. And I went through a website. I'm not going to say their names, but I went through a popular website to find and book it. And when I showed up, they said we're under renovation. So I took that trip. I rode. I spent my money. It was like a 30-minute drive. Went down a bunch of dirt roads and stuff. Got there. The people could barely communicate with me, and they basically turned me around. So I ended up having to come back here. And from the looks of things, of how it looked, it would have been incredible to do the fast and have the isolation, do all the meditation, do all the planning, all the things that I have going on right now. It would have been awesome to do it there. I mean, it had like from like if you pan around, it was a lot of it was just huge agricultural scene, cows, goats, like hundreds around everywhere. You could see the mountains very clearly on the horizon, all around you when you do a 360. It was so awesome, and they had there were like farmers, like young guys, really young guys, farmers with like little slingshot things, throwing rocks, slinging rocks, and making the birds fly up out of the farmland. It was really awesome. I wish I could have stayed, but it didn't work out, and I ended up having to turn around and come back to a place that I knew about. And I'm traveling, so a lot of I don't. It's you got to watch how you take chances. So I decided to come back to something familiar and do a lot more research and find something more suitable that is similar to that type of a scene that I went to that I wasn't able to be in. So back to the topic. Yesterday, which I've completed day one. Yesterday, all I did was, ironically, I stayed in my room a lot, and I did a lot of planning and a lot of brainstorming and just organizing things. And that's another great thing about being here alone. There's no fun around me in this particular area, and there's no fun. I can focus on things. When there's fun or too much social activities, it kind of throws me off sometimes. So I have to pick and choose when I do that, and that was the case with that. And I got a lot done yesterday, being here alone. And also here, my accommodation is quite nice in comparison to the accommodations I've had since I've been here. I've lived in 4 different places, and though they all have been, very interesting in their own way, and just great. I can't really complain about anything, but it's ideal for what I'm doing right now at the moment. So this is day one. I'll stop here. I'll give you an update on day 2 right now. Day 2 is complete, and this is day 3. I woke up a little bit earlier this morning. It's a Monday here, and it's a little bit busier. Children are walking to school. I wanted to show my neighborhood, but I also didn't want to be distracted walking through my neighborhood, and I just passed it. But so far so good with the fasting. Now, let me talk about yesterday, my experience yesterday, and explain or discuss a few things about fasting. Now, fasting, when you fast, you're losing, well, not losing, but you're not getting all this extra energy that you usually get. And one of the things that it does, it makes you more energy efficient because it trains your body to operate off of less. Of course, I ground it, and I use the sunlight. Those are two sources of energy that you get from your environment. There's others, but those are two key ones. Not best, just key. And what I did yesterday to get extra energy, and it was just not any extra energy, it was clean energy, was that I walked bare feet. So I woke up yesterday and I walked bare feet for 1.5 miles. Now, I usually wake up in the morning, most mornings, not every morning, and run about 6 miles. But obviously, because I'm fasting, running miles would compromise the fast and make the fast far more difficult than I'm prepared to handle. But I'm pretty sure, well, I know there are some upsides to doing that, and I know there are, like muscle sparring and training the body to perform better. But you know, I'm not there right now, so I'm not there right now. I'm not there right now. So what I did was I grounded. Sorry, I grounded. I walked bare feet yesterday morning, and as I walked bare feet for that mile and a half, you know, it was only a mile and a half, so it was tolerable. I was walking. I was getting some movement. I was getting some exercise. I was getting free energy from the earth because the feet are specifically designed for that. And I utilize that energy channel to get extra energy. Now, that also increases the amount of sun energy that you can receive because it's a circuit. You plug your feet into the earth and you expose your skin to the environment and let your melanin do its job. Melanin is an energy transformer. So just melanin alone, your skin, your eyes, your hair, all the places that are melanin rich, I got out of the way and I just let them do what they do. And you don't have the food consumption pathway blocking that or interfering with that. So it's a way to get reacquainted with that. So it makes you more efficient in that respect. So that was one thing that I focused on yesterday. And also I did some meditation. It always helps to raise the vibration, to sit and meditate to yourself and basically tell the reality that you want to express. You will the reality, because life is energy, frequency, vibration. And when you're doing something like fasting, you want to raise your vibration so that you can get more energy. And what else? Yeah, those are the main things I did yesterday. I walked other places, but I didn't do it barefoot because I had things to do. But things were quite difficult. I think yesterday was the point where I used up all of my glycogen. Well, you know, the energy that you preserve from food, and my body's shifting over to other energy systems. So day 3 is complete. It is now day 4, and I'm out in the busy portion of the town or the city that I'm in, but it's not too busy. And I just wanted to kind of share what it's like here. It's actually a lot busier if I get up and start walking around. This is actually somewhat of a quiet place. But some things that I've been reminded of yesterday. Well, yesterday I tried UT. If you don't know what that is, look it up. And I did it the last time I fasted years ago. And this time around, I couldn't, I tried it. It wasn't, I didn't repeat it today because it tasted too much like copper. So I don't think I'm gonna continue that for the rest of this fast. I might, but yesterday it put a bad taste in my mouth, literally. So, and I guess that's a reflection of what's going on inside of me. But it's a very, very strong copper taste. I'll have to research that. So, you have to have a routine. A routine is very important when you're fasting. Because fasting gets quite boring, because think about how much time you actually spend eating. It's probably hours. You probably think it's like not that long, but it's probably hours, probably big chunks of time out of your day. So you definitely have to start planning, and you have to pick and choose the things that you decide to consume. So I plan quite a bit of reading on top of all the other things that I have to do that are routine in my life. And at this point, day 4, which I'm on, for mitochondria, what is a mitochondria supposedly doing based on the theory that everyone primarily believes? Mitochondria should be switched over into ketosis pretty well at this point. And the process of mitophagy should be starting to happen around this time. And mitophagy is basically where your mitochondria start eating the bad mitochondria, or start getting rid of them. So it's the point where the weakest parts of you are gotten rid of. And from my experience now, I can tell you, I do feel a lot better. I felt a lot better yesterday, and I feel a lot better today. My mind is a lot clearer. And yesterday, my mind was clearer, but my body was tired. Today, my mind is clearer than yesterday, and my body is less tired. So I'm starting to turn that curve. And this fast has been easier than the last fast I did. The last one I did was 5 days. And tomorrow I will have matched that. I will have gotten to that same point. So that's my update for today. So day 4 is complete. It is now day 5 for me. If you notice, I'm filming kind of late in the day, and there's a reason. Quite a few obstacles and surprises today. Well, today and yesterday. And it aligns with the eclipse. So I kind of expected things to go down, but that's the beauty of these things. You don't know exactly what's going to happen, especially with the eclipse. They call them wild cards. But it is what it is, and we're powering on through this. So I feel pretty good myself, beyond the things that are going on in the background. And I watched some interesting videos, some interesting stuff, and I did a little bit of reading, and came across Dr. Sebi, the late great Dr. Sebi. And I was trying to understand his philosophy about fasting. And he does very long fasts. He talked about 30 days, 90 days, and their ability to completely cure diseases and illnesses. I could understand that, so I'm kind of seeing it, even though I'm nowhere near even 30 days. And another beautiful thing about today is I have a very nice view of Mount Kilimanjaro because of the time of day that I'm here in this location, which I guess is a blessing in disguise. So I'll let you see that before we go to day 6. There it is. Take a look. We even got some children or adults, I'm not sure, or older children playing soccer. And if you take a look, that's Mount Kilimanjaro. We got a really nice view of it. Let me zoom in on that if I can. Isn't it beautiful? Day 5 is complete, and today is day 6. Check me out. lost quite a bit of weight in these 5 days, which is expected, but also expected to slow down dramatically since my body is starting to adapt to what I'm doing. Now, there's some really interesting energy going on in the universe right now while I'm doing this. Like, I just talked about the eclipse that happened on the 17th. Today's the 19th for me. And tomorrow is the Saturn Neptune conjunction, which is in my 12th house. So I'm very interested and curious as to how this is gonna play out. So it's the beginning of some very new energy, and I'm trying to understand how to take advantage of it, get the full effect out of it, live life to the fullest under the energetic environment that I'm in. So I'm almost to the finish line, and I'm actually I've made some pretty good adaptations. I'm actually very curious as to what would happen if I was to keep going. But one lesson I've learned in life, particularly over the past few years, is being more conservative and moderation, and being able to discern and combine the artificial and the real, illusion, disillusion, reality, non-reality, how to discern those things and also combine them together, because both of them are very real. They're very real. So don't get caught up in the semantics. Illusion is not, doesn't mean not real. It just means illusion. It's not what it looks like. So, in my opinion, a lesson for us is to understand how that illusion can be used, or what that illusion actually represents. What is the reality or energetic effect of that illusion? Okay, so this is day 7, day 6 complete. And I'm gonna give my reflections on this entire thing and what I've learned so far. I may complete day 7 and go into day 8, or possibly 9. I'm not sure, but for this video, I'm gonna stop here. So let me zoom out and kind of show you how I'm looking at this point. Okay, so uh, this fast has been very enlightening. I'll start by talking about yesterday, day 6. Day 6 was my mind. My mind was pretty good yesterday, but the strength levels, they were challenging. Like just doing simple things. Even day 5 and day 4, even sitting in a chair, I would slouch because it takes energy to sit up. Little things like that you take for granted, and I learned a lot about my body in that regard. Also, it's really important to have activities and routines planned. Otherwise, it'll be very difficult to do your fast. What I mean by that is, like yesterday, like I walk during this whole fasting routine. I don't exercise, so I walked about 3 or 4 miles every single day to do my errands. I did not use any motorized vehicles for any type of transport. I walked everywhere, and I did it. It was by design. It was intentional. But like yesterday, I walked. I went and got my hair redone. That took a couple of hours. Keeping a tight schedule. I went shopping. I bought a yoga mat. I've been looking for it here, and I finally found one for a reasonable price. And I even bought like some food that I plan to eat after my body readapts to regular food after the fast. Because from what I've learned, you shouldn't just go back to regular food because it'll make you sick. You should start with simpler foods and gradually go to more complicated foods. And I'll show you at the end of the video one of my favorite things to eat nowadays. And a lot of you probably won't consider it healthy, but I can say all of it is natural. All of it is natural. And also, yeah, so something that happened this morning that was a little bit concerning, but expected. I woke up this morning and I kind of stared at the ceiling for a couple of minutes, like usual, letting the body kind of warm up. And in my accommodation, the window's pretty big. So, I jumped up and I opened the curtain. And because I jumped up so bad, I fainted. And I hit the floor because I lost control for like a split second. And, that's one thing, I knew about. You don't, when you're under those conditions, you don't suddenly stand up, especially after laying down for a whole night. So, that was, a challenge. Not really a challenge, but just something that I did and I wasn't thinking. And something that I've learned about my conditioning with the fasting, like the last time I fasted, and I remember now, I couldn't remember earlier, was that I fasted the last time, I think 2023, so not that long ago. And the one before that was maybe four years prior to that or something like that. And each fast, I've gradually gotten stronger and stronger, even though there's years of space in between them. The body remembers. I guess that's a crisis situation to the body, and it has to remember for survival purposes. Okay, let me ground myself, take these slippers off. I have to watch where I stand because the ground is has a glass on it and stuff in the area that I'm in. Let me show you the area that I'm in. Okay, so behind me, this is an airport. Someone told me that, and they were randomly walking by and started talking to me in poor English, but they told me that, and now I know. And this is the neighborhood that I'm in, and it's an isolated portion of the neighborhood, so that's why things look so barren and kind of strange. But I look for quiet places to film. And sometimes the quiet places to film aren't the most beautiful or scenic. So I have to, be strategic about that. And what else have I learned about fasting that's important? A lot of it with your mind. My mind has gotten clearer and clearer. Like this morning, my mind was clear. It's very clear. That's why I assumed that my body was in sync with my mind, and I just jumped out of bed. But your mind gets clear. Your mind starts cleaning out. The issue is that the powers that fuel the mind, like you can think really clearly and linearly and logically, but the power to do so is diminished. So it takes a lot of concentration. And with my routines, I did a lot of things that I personally need to do, like mostly administrative things. I'm not doing formal type of work nowadays. I'm kind of doing what I want to do with my own plans, and in a way to support myself and build myself over the future. And I have to be routine with it. And numerologically speaking, this is a year 6 for me. I'm a life path 6 person, so it's this high resonance year for me. And the 6 is about, you've probably watched my other videos when talking about this. The 6 is about sustaining things. It's about growth and sustainment. Remember, the 6 is like a pregnant woman. So it's about bringing something to life. It's about growth, sustainment. So that's 6 is a manifestation number. My last video talked about that, and yeah. So I have to I'm staying focused on those things, and I'm watching the patterns, and I'm following suit to see what's real and what's not real. Anything I talk about on my channel, go see if it's real. Don't just accept it for facts, because I'm researching a lot of things for myself, and I think it's important that people understand that you just can't duplicate what someone else does, because a lot of things are highly specific. But you can kind of look at their methods and kind of transfer over the things that are the framework of it, so that you can make your own system. So okay, the sun's directly overhead, so it's probably interfering with the lighting. So everything's complete, and I'm quite happy with how things have worked out. Um, I feel better than my previous fast. Maybe I did this one more intelligently. Maybe it's the location. The last time I did the fast 3 years ago, I was in Cambodia. I think that's the ninth latitude on the map. Now I'm in Africa on the 3rd latitude on the map. So it's approximately 1 p.m. on day 7, and this is my first meal. And it's a little bit big, probably bigger than it should be. And hopefully I don't get sick. But now I'll eat slowly and see how I feel. This is my 8th day. I broke the fast yesterday. You just saw what I broke the fast with. I ate about 70% of it. My mind wanted to eat all of it. I tried my best, but my body wouldn't finish the plate. But it was pretty delicious up until the point where I stopped. So over the whole fast, I was craving 3 things, and that's what I'm eating today. And it's actually my one and only meal that I'm gonna eat today. It's about 5 p.m. and I'm at my hotel. I'll zoom out, I'll give a view of it. That's what it looks like. It's kind of cloudy. The sun isn't out. It was out a little bit earlier today, but it's been pretty cloudy pretty much most of today. And here are the 3 things that I've been craving really bad. And yesterday the meal digested well. I actually it made me tired after eating the meal, and but I didn't feel bad. I did feel like I felt tired, but my mind was working like it just turned on, but the body still felt tired. So it was strange. And also while I was eating, my nose was running the whole time I was eating. So I was thinking that maybe I would get sick, but I didn't. That was about the extent of it. And my sleep was just so refreshing. Like the past few days of fasting, the sleep, I slept less because you kind of don't want to sleep. But I slept probably averaged about 4 or 5 hours a night during the fast. The sleep gradually just kind of went down. It was normal like the first 2 days, and then it just kind of stepped down 30 minutes less like that. And here are the 3 things that I've been craving. And I mentioned earlier that they're all natural, but you may not consider it, health food. First thing I have some wine, some South African wine. It's the best that I could get for my price range here where I am in East Africa. It's some South African. It's 2017, so it's got some good aging on it, so it should be pretty good. It's a twist off cap. It's kind of the best I could do here. It's all I could really find here, so it's kind of strange. And you know, I don't know why they're doing this. It should be it's a twist off cap. Come on. And the second thing is cashews. Cashews. I love these. I crave these. So wine and cashews are something I could eat like every other day, or I could even eat them very often. Particularly when it's very hot outside. When I'm in a very in a tropical climate or hot weather, I crave cashews. Actually, in the United States, I don't really crave cashews at all. But when I notice when I travel and I go to the tropics, I love cashews, and these are spiced cashews. And this one's gonna probably surprise you a little bit. These are fried grasshoppers, and I've been craving these, and I've kind of grown to like them since I've been here for this bit over a month. And I'll show you how they look. And they don't taste as bad as they sound, but they're pretty good. It's like, if I had to say what it tastes like, I would say kind of like a French fry. So if you like French fries, I think you would like this. And yeah, I've been craving this, so take a look at that. These are fried grasshoppers. It's pretty wild, right? Tried something and liked it, and kept getting it. So I get these probably at least like once a week. They taste good, they feel good, and they go good with wine. I love wine. So this is the meal that I've been craving the whole time I've been fasting. And one thing I'd like to say before I end this video about fasting, is an observation. There's a transit. It's the Saturn and Neptune conjunction on the first 0 degree of Aries, and it happened on the 20th. Today is the 21st, and I finished my fast yesterday. I officially ended it yesterday at around noon. You just saw. And I think that's significant because me doing the fast, it was not planned. I didn't say I'm gonna do a fast on this day. I knew I was gonna do it during this year, because one of the things I'm working on for this year is my health, basically stabilizing everything. I'm shooting everything off into the stratosphere this year. That's the plan. And I didn't plan it. My point is, I didn't really plan it. And fasting is Neptunian energy and also Saturnian energy. So it's spiritual, but it's also very grounding. And I think the fact that my 6-day fast ended on the 20th, right when that conjunction, I think it was exact on the 20th. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it was kind of written, because I had the craving to do it, and I did it at that time. I didn't have a schedule. I didn't plan, say, okay, I'm gonna fast on this day. It just it was very instinctual, and it went very naturally. So that's something to think about. Perhaps I was cleansing for that new energy. When a conjunction happens, it's an energy portal. So perhaps that cleanse was a cleanse before I go through that portal and come out and do the other things that you do on the other side of the portal. So that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed, learned something, or were at the very least entertained. Thank you. Bye.